Wipro's numbers, it will be expected to be more or less in line with the guidance they had given out. They had said that they will be doing roughly about $1,520 million to $1,550 million as a Q1 IT revenues. We are expecting them to clock roughly about 1542. So that will be a growth of roughly about 2.5%, largely volume led. And remember, this will also be largely because of the benefits coming out of the restructuring that had gone underway. IT revenues, I said, will grow at 2.5%. IT EBIT margins are expected to improve by 40 bips. Remember, Wipro reports their numbers slightly different from other IT peers, and there is not much hit of the currency unfavorable movement on Wipro's translation. So EBIT margins are expected to improve by 40 basis points, while for the whole consolidated company we are expecting revenues to grow by 1%, while the margins will be flattish. But the main thing that everybody would be watching out is the Q1 guidance that the company will hold out. We are expecting them to guide roughly between 1.5% to 3.5% kind of growth for Q1. So that will be watched very, very closely. Also the commentary from management side on the telecom vertical plus the technology business side will be watched very, very closely. These things will be watched very closely, and also if they can give any kind of highlights whether how the business environment or the demand is panning out. Remember, we have heard from Infosys that the gloom and bleak outlook, and while TCS sounded more confident. So Wipro will basically will help us in deciding which side to believe in. So these are the things we'll be watching out very, very closely.
Sunita, you track Wipro much more than me with a magnifying glass. So what you mind is one thing I should be asking the management tomorrow, which will help you decide whether the journey for Wipro is uphill or downhill.
Well, it's basically how the demand outlook is looking from here, whether discretionary spend are on a hold or not, whether BFI space is as bad as the Infosys management is saying, or it's starting to look up and it's only a temporary blip that we saw in March quarter. So this is what we need to watch out more specifically from Wipro management. And also if you can ask them whether the NASSCOM guidance of 11 to 14%, they will be able to outperform that guidance, although they don't give a full year guidance. But will the 11 to 14% can be superseded thanks to their organization restructuring that they had done in recent past. So the benefits of that they will be reaping in FY13. So most of the analysts are very bullish on Wipro doing well in FY13. So that is something that you will need to watch out. Although they won't give you a number, but any qualitative remarks on that front will be very, very welcomed.
All right, Sunita, thanks very much for joining us and giving us that perspective. Sterlite Industries, and a quick preview of those numbers, Gargi.
Well, Tanveer, if you look at the revenue figure, we are expecting a marginal increase, about 4.5% on that front. But look at the net profit levels, about 20% decline coming in. The culprit really being the margins, which are expected to decline sharply from last year levels. 24% is what they're estimating. 30.5% was what Sterlite had posted in the same quarter last year. Revenue decline mainly on the back of low LME prices that we are seeing. If you look at the volume growth, that has been a bit muted, not very sharp, if one can say that. Zinc and lead production, that was down about 3%, mainly because of the Vizag plant that was shut down for about 1.5 months in the quarter. Aluminium production, that showed an uptick of almost 4%, but aluminium prices, remember, if you compare an average LME price for the quarter, that has been lower if you compare from last year levels. Copper also the same story panning out there. Also remember, aluminium margins this time around will be hit because of high coal prices as well as bauxite prices. And the EBITDA per ton for aluminium, that is going to expected to go down. Operating margin in general, mainly because of low realization as well as high power costs. Both of these are going to impact that on the margin front. Overall, it's probably going to be just a muted revenue increase for Sterlite Industries.
From the financial sector, two numbers are due tomorrow, Yes Bank and LIC Housing Finance. Poonam, what do you want to start with, Yes Bank or LIC Housing?
Yes Bank. Indeed, Yes Bank is expected to announce its results tomorrow, and the market expects, rather the street expects the PAT at a very healthy 30% year-on-year growth at rupees 264 crores. This would be led by a very healthy net interest income growth of 30% on a year-on-year basis, with a very strong fee income growth again, and that would both these things would lead to a pre-provision profit growth of approximately 27%. The margins are expected to remain stable. The last quarter margins, as as well as the fourth quarter FY11 margins stood at approximately 2.8%. So margins are more or less expected to remain stable. Yes Bank is expected to also post a very healthy credit growth. However, the asset book growth, however, the credit growth would be a little muted because the bank has been growing credit substitutes largely. So it would be a robust asset growth for Yes Bank. Asset quality is again expected to remain stable with a very, the bank already has a very good provision cover of 80% and the gross NPAs are just at 0.2%. Also one thing to remember is for the future growth for FY13, Yes Bank is expected to raise capital, both Tier 1 and Tier 2 capital. So that would again lead to support in the margins. Speaking about LIC Housing Finance, PAT expectations are a little muted. In fact, the PAT is expected to be down by 17% on a year-on-year basis at just rupees 261 crores. This would be because of a decline in net interest income by 10% on a year-on-year basis, which would lead to a decline in the pre-provision profit of 20% again. The net interest income decline is primarily due to the margin pressures. Margins are expected to decline on a year-on-year basis, so that is a significant margin pressure on this stock. The disbursement growth is expected to be approximately 16% and the loan growth at 25%. Provisions for LIC Housing Finance is expected to write back, in fact. So that on that front, the PAT would actually lead to a surprise.